Crypto is getting crazy right now. We are seeing certain cryptos hit all-time highs. We're seeing Bitcoin hit record numbers recently in a couple different areas. And I want to talk to you about why you want crypto here today, why you want probably $1,000 worth of crypto, and what I'd be buying if I got my first $1,000 into crypto right now. I'm going to be going through some of the top cryptos I think to hold right now, and I'm also going to be talking about one that I'm actually going to make a video on after this video is out. It's going to be going live, and it's one that I just bought. It's a very small crypto. If you don't mind, stay through to the end so you can see everything, because I'm going to try to keep it nice and short for you. There's also a link down to the Patreon in case you want faster access to what I'm buying or selling, and you want exclusive access to some videos. There's that link. There's also a link down there to Moomoo and Webull where you can get some free money. Just deposit a little bit on the platform and get some free stocks. Also a link down there to Margex in case you want to trade on margin and go long or short crypto. Now, the crypto market is down a little bit in the last 24 hours, as we can see here, down 4.6%. The overall stock market is down at the time of this recording too, so that is causing this market, I think, to fall down a little bit, but it's not anything drastic. We have a couple big things happening in a few days in the economy, and that's really what's going to drive crypto over the coming weeks. We know that there are some big events coming in the future that will cause, I think, crypto to maybe be a little bit uncorrelated to the general market. But right now, if the stock market's racing up, crypto's probably racing up. And if it's falling, crypto's probably falling. So keep that in mind. A lot of it is having to do with the broader economy. Now, if I were to get $1,000 in crypto, I think now is a good time to have some crypto, because we are going into the next bull run, right? We don't have that much time left. Bitcoin is under a year to the next Bitcoin halving. A lot of people realize that the time to be buying is during the bear market and to be buying ahead of the next halving. Some people are just waiting on the sidelines because they think maybe we have another drop in the market, which is definitely possible. It's definitely possible we fall down from where we are today, but a lot of people realize that that's the time to be buying. So people will be ready with money on the sidelines. That's one of the reasons I think now is a good time to be buying, and $1,000 starts you off on that journey. Also, if you were to have $1,000 and you put some of it into Bitcoin, right? We have 21 million Bitcoin. There are 8 billion people on Earth. Bitcoin's $30,000. So if you want to split up all the Bitcoin that's ever going to be in existence by how many people there are on Earth today, you would have about $79 worth of Bitcoin. Now, some people hold hundreds of Bitcoin. Some people hold thousands, tens of thousands. So we're not going to actually have that much. Maybe there are 5 million Bitcoin that are on the market. Maybe, and not all of those are even on exchanges, but just people being willing to sell them. Well, if only 5 million are actually available for people to buy, because most people are just holding on right now, that's $20 worth of Bitcoin. So if you want 10 times that amount, that's $200 worth of Bitcoin. It gets you on the journey and gets you further ahead than most people. Now, if I were to get $1,000 today, what would I be buying? Well, I'd be going all into Pepe. Just kidding. We'll talk about meme coins later in the video, but mostly I'd be going into Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I think, is the least risky with still a lot of upside. Now, if you're hoping for 100x gains, you're not going to get that in Bitcoin most likely over the coming 3-4 years, but you can still get 3, 5, 10x gains possibly. Bitcoin just processed more transactions than ever before, setting a daily transaction record, and this beat out the 2017 bull run. So they're hitting all-time highs in a bear market because of ordinals, which is basically like the Bitcoin version of NFTs. We also are seeing banks collapse left and right. JP Morgan is now taking over First Republic Bank, which does give more people the idea to buy something that's decentralized, away from the governments, away from the banks, like Bitcoin. We also know that it can be sent across the world in seconds. We know that it can be held in a wallet that's actually secure, and no one can take it over or try to print more Bitcoin. So there are a lot of other reasons to hold Bitcoin besides just what we're talking about today. Like I said, there is the Bitcoin halving, which typically pushes up the price pretty drastic amount in less than a year. We're going to get that halving, and that's pretty exciting for a lot of people. We also got news recently that the Kingdom of Bataan has recently confirmed they've been mining Bitcoin since it was under $5,000. So there are a lot of reasons to want to hold Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance is heading up over the last few months as well. Keep in mind, we have gotten rejected a few times around 48%, 49%. I wouldn't be surprised if this kind of blew off and we did see low 50s. That's what I'm guessing. And I think Bitcoin would probably be the best crypto to put as a majority of that $1,000. Because if you're dipping your toe in the water, you have a lot more to learn, right? If you have a smaller portfolio as well, you're not going to have the ability to retire off $1,000 most likely in crypto. It's definitely possible if you have seen some of the stories about people investing into like Pepe when it was 100th the size or 1,000th the size, right? Some people like that can invest $1,000 and retire, but the fact is this is an outlier. Investing in meme coins like this, right? We hear about it all the time and people make millions of dollars from it, but that's like hearing about someone winning the lottery. Doesn't necessarily mean you should be playing it, but it means that some people do win. So when people get drawn into this, that's typically when you don't want to be buying, is when everyone's talking about one specific crypto, compared to something like Bitcoin, where, yeah, some people are talking about it right now, but most people are just kind of cautiously optimistic if they're in crypto or they're totally against it. That is typically a good time to be buying, not when something's racing up hundreds of % in a week. So keep that in mind. So Bitcoin would be my largest portion of my portfolio. Then I'd also want some Ethereum. Since the Ethereum merge happened, it's become deflationary. It's beautiful. There are less and less Ethereum in circulation because there's that burn mechanism. We also know that Ethereum went to proof of stake from proof of work recently, and that went really smoothly. So that I think is great too, because it means you can actually stake your Ethereum. When it's becoming deflationary overall, you can stake your Ethereum and get rewards. Now, the ETH versus Bitcoin chart does not look good. You can see we consistently come up and hit this trend line and then get rejected. New low, rejected, new low, rejected, and we're close to a new low. So I'd really like to see something around here, 0.05, before I buy a lot more Ethereum. I'd love to buy more Ethereum during this bear market, but we just have seen the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart hold up pretty well. It's just been ranging basically here between 0.05 and 0.09. So I'd like to see it hit the bottom side of that channel here, and we have seen consistent rejections there. So I would be allocating towards Ethereum a little bit, but I also might wait just to see if we can fall down a little bit more. That's what I'm doing personally. I do have some exposure to Ethereum though. I don't want to completely get out of Ethereum, but I would have some ready on the sidelines to buy some more. Now, going through the rest of the list, right, those are the two largest cryptocurrencies. They're not going to give you the biggest returns in crypto, but I still think they're going to give really good returns compared to the rest of the finance market, right? Compared to like general stocks or indices, you're going to do really well in Bitcoin and Ethereum if you think we're going into a bull run here soon, right? We're talking about 5X's maybe, somewhere around there, give or take, of course. Then from there, you can get into a lot of other cryptos. Another one that I might allocate some towards would be Polygon. They are working with Google Cloud to optimize their ZK EVM scaling performance. They're a layer 2, obviously, for Ethereum. Now, Ethereum does have a lot of layer 2s, and depending on where you're at in DeFi and where you're at with gaming, you can use different layer 2s and get different benefits. You know, they are vying for position for the best layer 2 on Ethereum, and I think going with just the pure form of Ethereum is probably safer than going with the layer 2s. I do have some exposure to Polygon, but it is a small portion of my portfolio right now just because I think it's hard to distinguish a clear winner for this layer 2 race. I also like Phantom. Phantom would get a small portion of my portfolio because I think it is a pretty great layer 1. It's much smaller than something like Polygon at just a $1 billion market cap. And it is the company itself is highly profitable. The the company I think is going to excel in the next bull run. I think it will outpace the likes of like Polygon and some of the bigger cryptos. I think Phantom will do really well. And then I would get some money ready for small cryptos. And I have to be careful because by small, I do not mean under a certain price point, like under $1, right? Anytime you see this, best cryptos under $1 for 2023, the price does not matter at all. That's something you have to know. A lot of new people to crypto, they look at the price and they think this is what's going to determine how much it goes up, right? They think XRP has so much more potential than something like Ethereum because it's much smaller. It's 1/4000th the price, but that doesn't matter. The market cap is really what you should be looking at. And by smaller cryptos, I mean something that has a smaller market cap, not a smaller price. Now, does that mean we just go down here and then pick out some cool looking crypto or someone that's been up a lot in the last 7 days or 24 hours? No, I don't think that's the smartest thing to do. I think you want to make sure that you understand the crypto, you understand the token supply, you understand potential catalysts, you understand some of the risks with that crypto, you understand the team behind the crypto, all that kind of stuff. You need to know it inside and out. Now, once you do that, you can invest in it. I think it is risky to invest in small cryptos compared to what we've been talking about so far, top 10, top 50 cryptos that have been around for years. The newer the crypto, the riskier as well. But at this point in the market, there are going to be some cryptos that are just overlooked. No one wants to invest in them because, it's a bear market. But as soon as the next bull market starts, they could do extremely well. Specific categories I'm looking at, AI, which may be a little bit overhyped right now, and then especially gaming cryptos. I think gaming cryptos could do really well. DeFi could do well as in addition to those other two categories. There is one small crypto that I actually just bought. It's the first small crypto I bought in a while that I'm going to be making a video on tomorrow. I did tell the Patreon members about it here today though, so be on the lookout for that. It is a very small crypto. It's just a couple $1 million in market cap. It is risky, but I think there's a lot of potential upside. So I might allocate some towards that. Keep in mind, I'd put a very small amount unless you're feeling very risky and you want to get 100x. Keep in mind though, that there's much higher risk that you're going to get a 0x if you're investing for a 10x to 100x, right? If you're just investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum, there's a very small chance that those are going to go down to zero. And everyone thinks that they're risk on, that they're willing to deal with that kind of risk until they get $0 out of it 6 months down the line. So be careful if you're investing a majority of your portfolio in small cryptos. Then I'd also keep some cash. I just keep some cash on the sidelines, maybe of that $1,000, unless you have some kind of income that's consistently coming in that you can invest into the cryptocurrency market. If it's just like you have $1,000 that you've saved up over some birthdays and some Christmases and you just can put that in the market, I'd probably keep some cash on the sidelines. So that way, if we do go through another market downturn, you have some money to throw into the market. Keep in mind, $1,000 is a great place to start in crypto. $100 is a great place to start if that's all you can invest. I do think diversification is key. So if you only have $100 to your name or $1,000 to your name, you probably shouldn't put it all into crypto. I think crypto is a good investment if it's on the riskier side of your investment portfolio, not your entire portfolio. So get an emergency fund, have some money sitting in your bank for normal transactions so you're not worried about overdrafting when you're going to Chipotle or something. Have some money in retirement accounts, most likely, if you can get a match or something like that. Have some stocks, have some real estate maybe. Invest in crypto if you want. In addition to that, I am very bullish on crypto over the long term, but I also think that a lot of people invest in crypto just because they're hoping for 100x or 1000x gains, or they're just degens and they're not really thinking about it from a long-term growth perspective as part of a diversified portfolio, which I think you should believe that is where it fits. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the link to the Patreon in case you want to see exactly what I'm buying and selling on a daily basis, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.